your hands together. Out of a 4-year retirement, ladies, please help me to the blue corner.
And fighting out of the blue corner, we have Levi Eyler in combat. There by Jace Johnson, who will be making his walk to the ring in just a fight. Now, coming in at 20 years old, coming in with a 3-1 record as well, although we were unable to find any sort of documentation of these records. Going by martial arts Spider-Man, I know his fight picture. He was donating these kit, so let's see if he can channel some of that superhero energy here tonight and get his Apex Fight League debut win.
His nickname's The Beast, so you know this guy's going to have a good time out there, and he's ready to brawl. And I know both these guys are ready for an absolute war.
Absolutely. Very excited to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome his opponent, Anthony Contreras, to the red corner.
And fighting out of the red corner, we have Anthony BB Contreras coming from beautiful Sedona, Arizona, fighting independently. Trainer, homie, according to the sheet. He's a Mason by trade, 1-1 in Muay Thai coming in. And his descriptions were quite interesting for his last fight has changed and why he's fighting. Described his last fight, he called it a war. To say changes he's made, it's war. He's fighting at this event because of war, and his expectations for this fight are an absolute war. So this guy's got one thing on his mind. Also, he's cornered by 2 people, his buddy Jay and God. So you got to think this guy's ready to go and ready to put on an absolute war here versus Levi Eyler.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 6th battle of the evening takes place in the middleweight division and is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. In the blue corner, with an amateur record of 3 wins, of 165.2 pounds, fighting out of Union Academy in Mason, Juicy, Beast Eyler. His opponent fighting out of the red corner with an amateur with official weight of 164.2 pounds, fighting out of Verde, Arizona. He's an independent. Anthony BB.
And fight number 6 is underway. And didn't jinx us last time, but we have 5 consecutive TKOs tonight. So Apex Fight League off to a ripping start. And very bladed stance here. Oh, my goodness. Massive right hand from Contreras.
Our second bout of the evening, where we've got Southpaw versus Orthodox. Again, the importance of where your foot is and keeping the foot on the outside or the lead leg on the outside of your opponent is so crucial.
And you can see Eyler making those micro adjustments early. And very bouncy stance here from Contreras. He's very heavy on that lead leg. Oh, massive hook there, I guess you could call it. Both these guys having a little difficulty finding the range early on.
He's got a little bit of a height. Levi's a little bit taller than him, but that doesn't really seem to be bothering Anthony, and you can really see his desire for a brawl.
Now, for fans from the UFC, I'm getting major Beast Boy Barnett vibes. Contreras here, swinging, throwing kick, wild in there, not moving as his body type would suggest. He's much more nimble than you'd expect. So, again, all massive kick there from Eyler, and again, those rushes and flurries from Contreras, I think, are where Eyler's going to capitalize.
He's sitting there sticking his tongue out at the guy. He's loving this. He's having a great time.
And something I don't like, massive overhand there from Contreras. Oh, he's swinging heavy right now.
close head kick there. That might have been it right there if that landed.
So close. Game of inches. And that was a good counter there from Eyler, catching Contreras on the flurry. Massive exchange here against Spencer. Oh, massive right hand there from Eyler. Looks like he's got Contreras with him.
We'd love to see, or at least I would love to see Levi start using that body kick, that from the rear leg. It's an open stance. It's there, and he's got the advantage with the legs.
Especially with the overextension there from Contreras early. But action-packed first round. A little bit of a feeling out process for both men. How would you score that first round?
No, that's a tough round to score. Both fighters had their moments. They both were advancing. They were both active. They both advanced. But I got to say, one of the most important aspects, or one of an aspect of scoring, is optics. And going after that first round, the way that he attacked, I think Anthony may have taken that because of how aggressive he was. Levi was on his back foot mostly. It was a close round technically, but because of the optics, I've got to give it to him.
I definitely agree there. Body language is so important in fighting. Something I still work on a daily basis. It majorly affected the last fight. So, how the judges perceive you, because if you take a punch and it looks like it hurt you, but it actually didn't, that punch hurt you in the judge's eyes. So, key keeping that composure and body language healthy as you're moving to the fight.
Anthony was ready to walk out there before the judge or the ref gave him the green light. He's ready to go. He's loving this. He's having a blast. The answers were so real. The war, this guy's ready for it.
No doubt about it. He is here for war. And, I would like to see him be a little bit more committal in some of those low kicks. And for Eyler, see him just throwing that out there. Throw a big right hand down the middle, counter the lazy low kick.
He's thrown it a few times here, throwing any other kind of kick. And Anthony's begun to expect that high kick. He's pulling.
Oh, massive counter right hand there from Eyler. He might have hurt Contreras with that one. See, even on those feints, Contreras tends to square his chest up to Eyler. If he's going to feint big, I'd like to see him roll off, create an angle as opposed to just waiting in front of his opponent after the feint.
Right. He's almost covering after he throws those feints.
And there's that body kick you called for, Luke. Massive from Eyler there to the stomach. Oh, beautiful counter. And you see, now he's finding that range. He's catching the way in as he's rushing with those flurries and landing solid shots.
Right, and one of the things that might slow down Anthony are some leg kicks. Using the ability to chop his legs apart and make it harder for him to move. Make it harder for him to lunge in and close that distance so rapidly because he does have it.
And his pace is starting to slow here a little bit, particularly for Contreras. And something we saw in the independent fighter. As the fight wore late into the second round, into the third, he really started to feel that and wear on the gas tank. It's going to be interesting to see if Contreras can hang on here with audio.
Absolutely. And if Anthony, he's ducking his head. He's getting real tired. If Levi can get him to duck his head and then blast one of those leg kicks from the open stance, that could be catastrophic for Anthony.
100%. Anthony Contreras' output is nearly dropped to 0. Throw 3-4 strikes. Good flurry there from Eyler, and that is the end of round number 2. Well, funny we talked about optics after that first round because I think we had the opposite optics that time. I think Eyler was more composed, looking a little bit more comfortable in there that second round, and Contreras, on the other hand, started very, very tired by the end of the round.
Certainly. And now I'm no judge, but personally, if I'm scoring this fight, that's a 1-1. And we're looking at potentially a deciding round here in the third round and maybe even our first non-finished fight. So if you're a fighter from your fight experience and it's a 1-1, how are you approaching this third round?
It's a one-round fight, you never know the scores. If the coaches are coaching correctly, they're going to be like, you have 2 minutes to go and get this done. What happened in these last 2 rounds doesn't matter. Put it all on the line and you go out there and try to win this fight. And the benefit here is there is a lot of momentum on Eyler's side as he did do some very good work in that second round.
Absolutely. And we've got a little tape issue with Levi's glove. But one of the things that I would really like to see from him are those kicks. He's got such a reach advantage, and it can begin to slow his movement even more and allow him to really take the round. Now, if you're Anthony, how are you making an adjustment to win this fight?
I think he's got to work the jab. I mean, the output, as I mentioned, dropped almost to zero. So you got to throw offense to start. And see right there, he tends to square his chest as he's entering for the combination. And I get that read, but look, he did. Big shot there. Massive shot there from Eyler. Big overhand there from Contreras. And Contreras heard from his corner, you have one round to win this fight. It's 1-1. You got to go out there and get a finish or win this round convincingly, or else he might be on the wrong side of the scores.
Right, and I'd like to see Levi commit to those kicks. He saw there he didn't just because he didn't feel like it would land. I'd like to see him commit and maybe throw it to somewhere other than the head. He needs to start landing elsewhere. You can throw stuff to the head, but you can win some fights.
I feel, punching the body, kicking the body a little bit more from Eyler, really wear on the gas tank here.
If you get maybe a left hook there to that liver, that's going to shut him down. He doesn't have the gas tank to take it through and fight for that.
100%. And we saw a little crunch of the shoulders there from Contreras, but as he said on his sheet and his interview, he is ready for war. He is here for war, and that's got to be what's this last 1 minute of the fight.
Right. You can see he's starting to load up on shots and not even looking. You can see from Levi. He's starting to apply what we're saying. Maybe he's listening to us. I don't know.
You never know what you can pick up when you're in the ring. Beautiful exit right there. Good overhand right landed by Eyler. And I think Eyler, and 10 seconds left, I was just going to say, all Eyler's got to do is avoid that overhand right, and I think he's got this in his pocket here. Good shot landed from Contreras, and a good end to that fight. As expected and anticipated, a war from start to finish. Good start there from Contreras, but I believe Eyler picked up the momentum and finished extremely strong to potentially win that fight.
But as we saw at the last round, I think Levi slowed down a little bit there in that last round. He wasn't as active and nor as destructive.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have reached a decision. All judges have scored this bout 28-29 for you. A unanimous decision out of the blue corner.
And a couple of good judges here in the booth. We call that perfectly to Contreras, and rounds 2 and 3 to Eyler. Tremendous performance, both warriors, and hope to see both these young men back in the ring at Apex Fight League soon.